Hello, all you beautiful ladies and classy gentlemen out there. This is your last call for insight, and today we were going to do a very impromptu live stream in regards to something that was actually really important and said on a different channel. I hope everyone's having a wonderful week, but let's go ahead and get started. By the way, we are trying a very new setup as far as our live stream, and I think it's a lot more organized than it is in the past. I actually have a slightly better arrangement now, a new desk and new mic setup, so let me know as far as quality goes if you enjoy it. But there's actually something really important that I wanted to discuss today. I had made a previous video in regards to money is a lens and rule number 5. I was actually going around YouTube. I like to participate in the community and also hear what's being said as far as the information that's provided to you all, the watchers or the subscribers, and make sure that I'm highlighting important pieces of information. So as far as what I wanted to highlight today is actually shout out to Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. He was having a real talk with Anton Daniels, and this came up right here.
We talk about legacy a lot. I hear a lot of people talk about legacy. I hear a lot of people talk about generational wealth. Then if it's so important, then why isn't Warren Buffett leaving his kids anything? If it's so important, then how come Bill Gates has pledged to leave the overwhelming majority of his wealth, at least 99%, they pledged to give it all away? Not to their family, but they pledged to get rid of it and give it all away. If generational wealth is so important, then how come the richest people on earth is looking to get rid of it?
That's because they're reading the book of Solomon. What didn't Solomon say? He made all of this money only for the kids to squander away. Because if you don't respect how money is created, invested, you're going to waste it because you don't have no respect for it.
Which is why I tell a lot of guys, stop coddling your sons. Stop looking to build wealth so that you can pass it on to your sons and things like that. The 80% of millionaires is new millionaires.
Right.
They got it out the mud. They had to work it off. They had to actually get to the bag. They had to understand the importance of the humility and working and getting through the path so that the character, along with the humility, along with the riches and the resources, go along with it. Because money does not make you a better person. It makes you more of what you already are. Money is just a tool.
Legacy is definitely a very important topic. And I think there's one thing that actually should be noted, and I actually agree with both Uncle Stu and Anton Daniels in this. Money is a lens. And while money does help, it should be looked at as a tool and a responsibility. There's something to be said when discussing legacy. If you're not preparing your children with the knowledge and wisdom to understand how to use that money, and you just leave the money itself for your children, then it's going to cause them no issues of problems. And let's make a cross comparison in between this video that I made right here actually a few weeks ago. Hey everybody, I figured today we would do something just slightly different, and there's something I actually want to bring up. I've been watching quite a few other channels on YouTube since I began making videos myself, not only to kind of see what kind of message is being put out there, as well as the type of video quality and value that other YouTubers are creating. And there was one YouTuber specifically that I wanted to acknowledge, and that's actually the Intentional Millionaire. TIM, I've been watching you for some time now. Not only in regards to your finance videos to see what kind of value and content that you're putting out there, but there was actually something that you said specifically, and I believe it was on Sir Hale Speaks channel, and I'll make sure that I put his video in the description. It was specifically in regards to money. Here's the quote right here.
The most important thing that I understood it, and I take this from the next book that I read that was critical, was Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I learned that your thought process create the actionable result. But through Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, I did learn that I need to deprogram my up to that point, I need to deprogram all the different bad habits or bad things I thought about money, thinking that being wealthy is bad. I realized that being wealthy had nothing to do with your individual heart. Money doesn't gauge if you're a good person or a bad person. Well, all money does is expose what's truly deep rooted in your heart.
The reason why I want to acknowledge this quote is specifically something that ties actually in with my personal life. For all my subs, in my personal life, I basically created a book or a journal. If something were to happen to me, basically this book can be used to not only train whoever replaces me, but also for mentoring youth in general. So I initially created this book to basically give the next person the edge. And it doesn't necessarily press any specific method. It's very open-ended, but I wanted to briefly read a spot that I have pre-marked in this book. And it's actually this section right here. Think of money as a responsibility. It's a lens that amplifies a person. A person who lacks integrity, when they get money, they become a fool, a liability. A person with integrity and humility can change the world for others. And while this quote specifically is different than the quote that you gave on Sir Hale Speaks, it's something that I definitely believe and acknowledge. So I wanted to not only give you a personal shout out in this video in regards to that, but I think that's a crucial lesson. I greatly believe that money and power are a lens, and if you really truly want to know how or what a person... I'm happy to see that there actually are different groups of young men within the community, and shout out to all those people. Oh yes, and by the way, Snuggles, I appreciate you stopping by. Welcome. But in regards to today's message or discussion, money being a lens, I think it's extremely important depending upon if you're creating your own legacy, if you're mentoring other young men or women, providing them with the tools that way they can actually succeed is extremely, extremely important. And I think that's one of the things that we often overlook when we're chasing to, quote unquote, get the bag. And while being successful as not only just a black man, but just a man or even a woman, if you want to succeed in life, it's important to understand what is actually important versus just putting all the emphasis on the money, or money being the key to legacy when it really isn't. I know today's discussion was it was rather quick, but I think it's still driving those important points home. But I wanted to shout out each and every one of those individuals. Shout out to the Intentional Millionaire. Shout out to Sir Hale Speaks. Shout out to Anton Daniels. And of course, Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. I appreciate the information that you're providing to the community. And I think these little gems like this, they often go overlooked, but it's still extremely important to put emphasis on these things. Again, as far as today's setup goes, if you like this quality as far as the live stream, leave a comment down in the comment section. I think it's a little bit more organized. I have a considerably larger desk. We'll work on this background a little bit. I know it's generic, but I think for the time being, it's okay. As far as this setup goes, the only thing I'm really not happy with is I need to put a little bit of insulation with this mic stand right here. You can hear if I accidentally tap the table. It makes that kind of dong 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 because the metal is vibrating, but other than that, I'm pretty pleased with it. I will be coming out with a new video coming up here in the next few days. I want to do a appreciation for the 1,000 subscribers for the channel. I actually didn't think we'd make it this far, but I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that I can continue to create value, not only for entertainment, but also hopefully each and every one of you can gain a little bit of insight. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and remember, you're always welcome here, but we sure as hell aren't for everyone. Have a wonderful evening.